Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of our show. It is Wednesday, which means that we're talking about AI in healthcare. And last time I had some confusion with two of my guests. They have really similar names, but now I decided to differentiate them. And one is going to be Mr. Chaudhry, and a second one is going to be Mr. Ahmad. So we both know, we all know who I'm talking to. And well, first of all, welcome, guys. Thanks for being here with me on this Wednesday.
Thank you, same here.
Thank you very much.
And today's topic is going to be prompt engineering in healthcare. And before we start, when I saw the topic, I didn't know what it is. I didn't know what prompt engineering is, and I think it's a little bit complex idea, the complex name for a pretty simple idea, in my opinion. But we'll let our experts do the talking for me here, and I'll ask Mr. Chaudhry to kind of walk us through what is prompt engineering and what it basically means.
Right. So, well, prompt engineering, it's kind of a process of designing and optimizing what I would say the input prompts, which are given to the language models like ChatGPT to achieve the specific and accurate outputs. So, the techniques that involve understanding how to structure the questions, requests or tasks. This is the main technique. So, if you've been using Google for a long time, you would already have a good understanding how to actually, search on Google. So, in basically prompt engineering with these large language models like ChatGPT, you have to consider the clarity and specificity and context and constraints and examples. So in a nutshell, that's my answer. Yeah.
So I'll add to this is that it is that you need one thing I would start from here that a couple of weeks ago we did a podcast that AI is changing the lifestyle, the AI is changing the job market. So this is one of the newer job requirements which are coming up because knowing that what question to ask, 50% of the answer you will get right there. It's a very famous saying as well. So you should know what to ask, how to ask, what type of prompts you need to ask from the even ChatGPT or any AI tool, which is called prompt engineering, so you can get the right and prompt answer from the AI model.
Okay, great. This kind of explains why it is essential, but also at the same time why it will have to be implemented by many different industries. And this was kind of a great example of how the podcast is going to look today. I'm going to ask a question, and then both my guests are going to answer, maybe give contradicting answers, and have some debate going on. Maybe, hopefully, they're not going to fight and argue a lot, but we'll try to have a civilized discussion.
And I think so, Gleb, we also have a very good demo as well, which Mr. Chaudhry is giving to us. So please hang around with us till the end. You will get very good tips and tricks how to use any AI tool.
Yeah, and we have some preparation for you. So there's a lot of fun things today's going to be covered. And now that we cleared out what prompt engineering is, let's go into healthcare and put prompt engineering in perspective of healthcare, and because that's what we're here for. And let's start with differential diagnosis, which is a process I hope most of our viewers know, but it's the process of when doctors is giving a diagnosis to a patient with symptoms that can mean many different diseases, but the doctor has to rule out many different illnesses or diseases to give a specific answer. And this is one of the potential use cases for prompt engineering, where it can assist doctors with giving those differential diagnoses. So, Mr. Chaudhry, care to start and explain how it can help?
Sure. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to be using ChatGPT and to demonstrate how to, apply your prompt engineering.
We're already starting with screen sharing. That's fun. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get down to the real work. So here I'm going to show you how to construct prompts to guide ChatGPT in generating relevant differential diagnosis for hypothetical patient cases. So the sample patient case, the sample that I'm going to take is going to be 45 years old female with the symptoms of persistent fatigue, occasional night sweats, mild unexplained weight loss, and intermittent joint pain. The medical history says, there is no significant medical history, non-smoker, occasional alcohol use, and no known historical history of autoimmune diseases. So this is what basically, we're going to create a prompt out of. So first, we'll create a basic prompt that how basically, let me bring it to the ChatGPT. So yeah, the prompt says, just like I said, this is the sample patient case I took. Based on the symptoms of fatigue, night sweats, unexplained weight loss, and joint pain in 45-year-old female with no significant medical history, what are some potential differential diagnoses? So let's ask ChatGPT and let's see what it says.
So while it is answering, I would just add a couple of things. So what Mr. Chaudhary did, that he did a focus questioning. In prompt engineering, the focus questioning is very important. Knowledge integration. Then what he will get out of it, a pattern recognition. Also a comparative analysis he will get out of it. He will also get some decision support. So he may get some knowledge from other people what they are asking. So basically a decision support, education assistant, and then workflow optimization. So this is what in a prompt engineering are the 5 to 6 main aspects that when you do a right prompt to ask from the AI, you are getting a very right answer. So Mr. Chaudhary, please, you can continue from here onwards.
Yeah, thank you for adding. So if you see here, although I was trying to be specific, but again, I've received a very broad answer, and you can see it's diagnosing so many multiple diseases or basically symptoms. So the limitations are basically, this type of a prompt typically results in a broad list without much prioritization, and also making it less practical for doctors who need specific reasoning for narrowed options. So next step, what I'm going to do is taking the same sample, I'm going to refine it further, and I'm going to add, how should each be prioritized based on this presentation that we have. So let me just bring that prompt again, the second prompt. So now the prompt has changed a little bit. A 45-year-old female patient presents with persistent fatigue, night sweats, unexplained weight loss. The same thing, pretty much the same thing as previous prompt. Her medical history is unremarkable. She's a non-smoker and blah, blah. Now, this is something that is getting added. What are the most likely differential diagnoses and how should each be prioritized based on this presentation? So now it's going to add some prioritization, what is the likelihood of each of the symptoms and each of the, diagnoses. So over here you see lymphoma is basically prioritized, and ChatGPT has also provided the rationale and obviously the priority. The priority is high due to the combination of systematic symptoms and their potential severity, it says. And then second number is tuberculosis, and the list goes on and on. Now, as a third step, what I can do here, I'm going to be more specific by explicitly asking for prioritization and next steps. Doctors can obtain a highly actionable differential diagnosis. So I'm going to bring my third prompt here, which is the final prompt, which is going to be beneficial in a way that it's going to, you can see it here, for a 45-year-old woman, the same thing, and provide prioritized differential diagnosis list. Also include recommended initial workup steps, such as specific tests or examinations. So now we are super specific. So when you're super specific, to the point, giving the right information to ChatGPT, it gives you the right answers. So let's prompt that.
And also, while it's prompting, I just wanted to point out that this is all in real time. It's not pre-recorded.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows real time. That's happening right now. That's like the change in the prompt can change the answer that ChatGPT gives.
Correct, 100%.
So that's why we have a prompt engineering jobs as well. Yes. One thing I would like to add for the audience here, we are nowhere providing any medical expertise here. We are not from a medical profession. This is all related to the AI and what AI is providing it. So please use it at your own discretion. This is nowhere close any medical advice to anyone because we are not from a medical profession. Thank you.
Yeah. So now we have the recommended initial workup summary as well. It's also recommending the possible laboratory tests like CBC and ESR, and the list goes on. And then the infectious diseases screening recommendations, and then the imaging like chest X-ray and additional tests. So this is like a good assistant for a medical practitioner for a second opinion. So yeah, this is pretty much it.
I mean that's awesome. Like how, like seeing the actual change in the answer by just changing the prompt itself. I think that's awesome. And I also like, my question to this is, does it have to be does this AI has to be something specific, or doctors can use ChatGPT, or they have to like create a specific like medical focused AI model?
It's better to use medical focused, which is trained more, or when it is medical focused, it's definitely gonna be trained on more and more data just for medical. I mean, you can train ChatGPT more on this. You can, as a baseline engine, you can still use ChatGPT, but train it more on the medical data, which you are more concerned about. So, if you are specific, then it's better.
Mr. Chaudhary, I'll not put you on the spot right now, but if you know, which are the most famous AI tools right now? I know one is ChatGPT. From Microsoft, we have Copilot. What other do you know that you can recommend to the audience that they can think of using it?
Yeah, there's one from Google. It's called Gemini. All
Mm-hmm.
the big three, the big giants are having their own LLM-based models. So yeah, Gemini is also very good. And then there are a few other giants which are working on building their own. So that's gonna you're gonna see that very soon.
Okay,
And
so
also,
sorry, so we have ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot are the three most popular AI
Yes,
tools where prompt engineering tools or prompt engineering knowledge can help to get the better knowledge from these tools.
correct.
Okay. Yes,
and also
Gleb, sorry, go ahead.
adding to that point, Epic is introducing Epic AI, which is going to be a new thing, and I saw it many places. I think they're doing something for scheduling already, but they're going to be implementing it in more different ways
Yeah.
now that it just gets rolled
I
out
I
with
know. So if people don't know what is Epic, Epic is also one of the medical billing tool, but it has a lot of many other services.
yeah, it's
Very
a
very popular EHR EMR software, which is widely used. Along with that, we have CureMD. There are a couple of other EHR EMR tools
yeah,
available as well. So
but
definitely keep an eye that
yeah,
AI is coming into those tools as well.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, let's move on because we don't have all day here to talk. Because if you let us, we can talk for hours and hours on end about AI.
Yes.
Let's go and move into medical billing now. So for medical billing, from what my understanding is that correct coding is essential, and this is what I want to understand is can prompt engineering help with that? Mr. Chaudhary,
Yeah.
let's start with you again.
Yeah.
You'll be
So I
put on the
have
spot a lot.
That's all right. I have another example for that, some sample data that I'm going to use. So, first of all, you have to identify the treatment details like the patient diagnosis. I'm specifically talking about medical billing. So, the patient diagnosis like special health conditions and symptoms, treatment provided, any procedures and therapies, and relevant demographics and additional details like factors like severity, chronic and acute conditions. So the sample that I'm going to use here is going to be type 2 diabetes, mellitus with peripheral neuropathy, and treatment is going to be diabetic foot exam and counseling on glycemic control. So patient is basically 55-year-old female. So now we have this situation. Now we want to basically write a prompt to ChatGPT. So I'm going to bring up my screen sharing again. Here's the prompt example. given the diagnosis of type 2 diabetes with mellitus with peripheral neuropathy for a 55-year-old female, generate the correct ICD-10 and CPT codes for diabetic foot exam and counseling on glycemic control. So let's see what we get.
So while this is coming up, I'll add here that this is a game changer here. If I was just reading some reports right now, this medical billing is becoming a next big outsourcing technology or outsourcing process in BPO is coming up. And it is being used by non-medical professional because it is more laborious work. So medical billing companies, doctors are hiring and outsourcing it to the people, which is going across the world. And people doesn't have a lot of knowledge. And it takes a lot of time to learn all these CPT codes. So by having this help, the person who is doing a CPT coding for any medical report to get the right code numbers so they can go and bill it to the insurance company, and the medical insurance company provide a right response and right payment. So they will, it is a vicious cycle because what medical companies are doing, they are getting it, one CPT code is wrong, they deny the claim. And when the claim is denied, again, they're redoing it. And when they're redoing it, it's a loss for the medical billing company who's doing the billing, plus the doctor who's not getting the revenue on the right time. So again, ChatGPT is changing completely the game over here. And I will cover a couple of main topics at the end with what are the biggest benefits by using these ICT or CPT codes by ChatGPT. So Chaudhary, please continue.
Yeah. So this was our last prompt, and to ensure the accuracy, specifying any code preferences like ICD-10 CM for diagnosis, CPT for procedures. So this is why I've brought this another prompt, which is more specific, like it's saying generate ICD-10 CM codes for 55-year-old, and now you will see it's going to be more specific, and it's going to be basically avoiding the generic suggestions.
So all the medical billers who are looking at it, please start learning some prompt engineering. And if you want to cross-check your work, try to come in. ChatGPT has a lot of new modeling data is coming up. Yeah. ChatGPT and other tools, right, which can help you to get you the best answer.
Correct. And it's always recommended to validate the code suggestions, run the prompt and review the ChatGPT's output, and also compare the generated codes with medical billing references and documentation.
Exactly.
So use it as an assistant, not as as your guru.
Yeah, exactly. Always cross-check, but again, learn from your knowledge or from where you have learned. Talk to your doctor, talk to the right professional to get the right answer. But at least you can validate your answers from here. So with that, I would like to just sum up this section that if you're using a billing code from prompt engineering, what you will get out of it: automated coding assistance, standardization and compliance, real-time feedback, comprehensive coverage, educational prompts, efficiency, time saving. Definitely, you will get an efficiency and time saving. How? If you will do the right coding, there will be less denials and everyone will get paid on time. Everyone wanted to make sure that they get paid on time. And then the biggest, last but not the least, is the error reduction. You will improve a lot. We know there are some companies who have already used in AI tools, which they will run against the medical billing and find out and provide a report whether all the codes are submitted or is there any codes missing. So there are some companies already doing research and have produced that products already in the market.
Let's move on to the next section. We're going to go into remote patient monitoring, kind of the topic that we were covering in the last section. but let's dive in and understand the prompt engineering and how it's going to help in this section as well. So we're back to Mr. Chaudhary. We're back, as I said, we're going to put him on the spot all day today. So he's going to be on the spot. He's going to be showing us how prompt engineering can help. Well, basically, like what prompts can be used to alert doctors, but also how can these prompts be, as we saw today, what Mr. Chaudhary was doing all day, fine-tuning them a little bit and editing them. How can they be fine-tuned to prioritize critical information out of an array of information?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I'm going to show you the data. So yeah, this is a sample data, which is having, the patient ID, the timestamp. So it's hourly data, just for the demonstration for ChatGPT. It's having heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, and also the blood glucose. So it's basically for 3 patients. So I'm going to pass it on to ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask different questions about it. So let's jump to ChatGPT. I'm going to upload this file. Is it this one? Sorry.
Didn't upload.
Yeah, I'm going to drag it here.
That's what doctors going to be doing at some point. They're just uploading files.
Yeah.
And using ChatGPT all day.
So here's the prompt. So I'm just asking simple questions. Summarize as daily report for each patient, not in tabular format. I don't need to see the data in tabular format. I want just, the crux of it. So generate alerts for any abnormal values, focusing on critical metrics like oxygen, blood oxygen, heart rate. And let's hit submit. So let's see what it comes up with.
It's taking its time.
Yeah, it's taking its time. Because the more data you have, it takes it more time to read that.
But it's also like, because we're in real time, we're showing people how it's going to look like. It's not like we have everything created. Hey, here you go. This is what it's going to look like, so people kind of like start preparing a little bit for the future. Yeah, it's going to be used, and that's how you're going to feel.
So this is one of the good examples that a lot of tools that we are using, we have a lot of data, rather than going and manually summarizing this thing. Here you can pump the data into ChatGPT or any AI tool, which can give you the answer from after reading the Excel file. So again, this is how you can automate and get the answer in a very structured way, very fast.
Correct. So patient 101, I'm having, the summary, like average heart rate, oxygen, and blood glucose. And there's one alert where the heart rate dropped below 60 beats per minute. So patient 102, oxygen saturation dropped below 90% at this time. And patient 103, there's been an alert, again, oxygen saturation dropped below 90%. So this is the summary of it. And see, it's ChatGPT is also recommending some predefined prompts. So let's, out of curiosity, let's click on it and see what does it do. So I've just clicked on, can you show abnormal trends over time? So let's see what it comes up with. So you see, ChatGPT is getting smarter and smarter day by day.
It's also learning from the more you put in, the better the answers are going to be.
Correct.
So,
though it is taking a little bit more time. Wow, amazing! It has put together the graphs as well.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So this is for patient 101. It's a heart rate over time, and the blue one is the oxygen saturation over time. So it's showing the trend. And for patient 102, it's not showing much.
It's not showing anything. So there is some room for improvement for ChatGPT.
Yeah, there's some room for improvement, but still, I mean, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. This is how you can use the RPM data to
and then
to
now
bring
he
up
has
the summary.
Given 2 more questions at the end.
Yeah.
So you can keep on learning, you keep on doing, you can keep on playing around. So again, this is an early stage, right? Again, we are not giving any medical advice. We are not giving any guidance that you should use, but at least from learning perspective, just to see what out there in AI. AI is the future. We don't know 2 years, 3 years down the road what it will and how much it will improve. The more CPU power, the more knowledge, the more participation of everyone in the automation. Automation is the era that we need to go and implement. So I think so that is a very insight information, Mr. Chaudhary, you have provided. I think so we are looking forward for these type of information going as we go along in many more podcasts.
Yep. Last couple of thoughts by me. Just wanted to add is first that by no way we're saying that ChatGPT is giving right answers. So please, if you have any problems, go to a doctor. We're not saying that ChatGPT is smart and can give you a diagnosis if you submit problems on there. So doctors are way more knowledgeable right now. Maybe at some point it's going to change. Like they could be a good helpful tool, but at the end of the day, doctor is the endpoint, and it will be like that in the future. So just that's a disclaimer. But then also I wanted that you saw in a real lifetime that's what's happening. Like, and it's cut down time from analyzing the data or to get to for remote patient monitoring or for medical billing or for the differential diagnosis. Like it cut down. We did it in what was that? Like in 5 to 10 minutes, everything was done. And this is not maybe today, but it is tomorrow. It is coming, and it's going to be everywhere, and it's going to be implemented. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to create a better work-life balance for doctors and for nurses, that they don't have to spend time doing just those mundane tasks that can be done by AI and LLM models. With that, I think it will be a good time for us to end. Thank you, guys. Thank you again. So we know Mr. Chaudhary and Mr. Ahmad. This is how I differentiate them nowadays. Thanks for being here. Please leave us a like, leave us a comment what you want us to talk about in the next sessions. Subscribe to our channels and have a great rest of your day. And we'll see those two great gentlemen next Wednesday. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.